Skeleton of a mother and her unborn child. Hey there. Caitlin Doughty from the Ask a Mortician YouTube series actually did a whole video on this. Laying the baby on the mother's stomach was a popular way of burying children and mothers who may have died at the same day, within a few days of each other. There's a good chance this is a symbolic motherhood burial arrangement and that over time, as the rest of the tissue decayed, the child settled into the now open mother's skeleton. Exactly what I was thinking. Based on the size and development of the skull, it was definitely not an in utero baby. Edit, my top rated comment is about a dead baby. Oh thank God, or whatever is out there. About to have my first child in about 6 weeks, and looking at this picture all I was thinking was, oh, fuck, that baby's head is huge. I was freaking out too, and I'm not even pregnant. That baby is huge, it nearly takes up the whole abdominal cavity. Society expects me to do this like it's NBD? And congratulations, I'm sure everything will be fantastic. Like it's NBD? To be fair, even when childbirth proceeds correctly, it's a BFD. Not a mom, just an anxious person here. But I get nervous for pregnant women. Like, how the fuck are you so chill knowing full well that in X amount of days you will be in the most agonizing pain known to humans? Even with anesthesia, it's not exactly a picnic. Not only that, you have only X amount of nights left where you can actually sleep. And the titties. I get nervous for the titties. So cool fact, your body actually releases endorphins starting 2 weeks before birth and releases so many of them it takes unless 2 weeks after birth for them to fade. Endorphins vary from woman to woman, which is why women have different perception of how painful childbirth is, but in theory, the body is supposed to help with that smiley face. That makes sense. The drive we start to experience is insane in the last few weeks prior and after. I could clean the house 2 times over and do without any sleep. I actually slept through part of my contractions BC. I just thought I had to go to the bathroom. No one said, it's going to feel like the worst constipation you have ever experienced. But you will want to shit. I realized that it wasn't that when I felt this internal water balloon pop. Then I was kind of excited BC. I knew that I was going to get a little human out of my body soon and be able to see it and all. This is a skeleton from the Danish museum in Abelholt Monastery, that used to function as a hospital somewhere between its founding in 1176 and until it was replaced by a church in 1560. They excavated a ton of skeletons in the 50s and put them on display. It was my favorite museum as a child. Here's an article about the woman in the picture, http://www.academia.dk/blog/ruiner-af-abelholt-kloster-blev-frost/closing parenthesis in Danish, sorry about that. Article states that the woman in the picture is around 40 years old and had an approximately 8-month-old fetus inside her. She had a narrowed pelvis caused vitamin D deficiency, which might explain why the child is in the sitting position and not upside down as it should be, and they found a kidney stone that could be the cause of her death. IIRC. The stone is on display next to her. Sorry if I turned this creepy into a till, but I've always loved that museum. Edit, a word. So a 40-year-old vitamin D deficient woman who was 8 months pregnant died from a kidney stone? I cannot imagine how miserable that poor woman must have been before she died. Agonizing pain on top of the enormous discomfort of an advanced pregnancy. This is skeleton 596 from Abelholt Kloster Monastery in Denmark. The woman is estimated to be around 40 at the time of death. The unborn child is 8 months old. I can't find anything in English on this. Several more, mother and child, were found in the area. The born children were placed with arms crossed over the chest in the Christian fashion of that time. I can't find any dates, but the monsters was originally built in 1176 and shut down in 1560. So not fake. Source, skeleton, number 596, buried in the farmhouse, originates from a 40-year-old woman. In the left abdomen there was an 8-month-old fetal skeleton in the lower posture. The pelvis, where there was a collapse between the right hip and the lower leg, is judged to be an equally narrowed pelvis of Ricketts character. Between the head and the lumbar vertebra of the fetus there was an arsenic kidney stone, which shows that the mother has a kidney disease that may have been the possible cause of death. The pelvic pelvis can explain that the fetus occupies the birthplace difficult position, which today exists at c. 2.5 to 3% of total births. V. Mahler Christensen, The Book of Abelholt Monastery, Danish Science Publishing, Copenhagen 1958, pp. 191f.